As you can see, I've added one more item to my community service, and the reason I've done this is something maybe your family's been doing for a long time. Community service. In this case, I put down St. Rita's Parish prepared and served food for annual spaghetti dinner. So these hours do not just have to be Central Catholic hours. Those are different. They are identified as school requirement, but many of you have done probably 100 hours or more. So think about what your family has done maybe over several years when you're thinking about community service. So let us continue. The next section that I'm choosing to add is my work experience. So let me get some work experience up here. I've already created this. And my work experience, again, I'm going to go from the most recent and backwards. I'm trying to keep some of my same formatting. I identified the dates. I've been working and presently am working at Waverly Golf Course, caddying for golfers, cleaning golf clubs, and stacking golf clubs back in the rack. So those are the basic duties. So this implies that I've worked for individuals. My next one, I worked at Safeway. I clean and stock groceries, maintain, bottle, return. So this shows that I've got a great work ethic and willing to work hard. 2011 to present, I'm a babysitter. I supervise children ages 3 to 5. So I haven't said how many, but I put down just that there's children. It might be several families that I'm working with, so maybe I've got more than this implies. Maybe this implies only 2 children, but I may have several families, and the age range of those children is 3 to 5. I cook, I do some light housekeeping, and I do some tutoring, which in this case, based on their age, is just some reading and writing, some basic skills. Whenever possible, identify ages, or type of group, number of people, because again, it is part of that ability. Do I work well with small groups and large groups? Some of us have work experience mowing lawns. It might have been for a relative, but something that we've done consistently. It might be for a neighbor, but what is our work ethic like? So any of these jobs that we take for granted, and I just do it, pull weeds and that type of thing, it is a skill, and it is called work experience, whether paid or unpaid. So my next topic, I'm going to add some leadership honors and awards. These are recognitions I've received, and once again, they may be recognitions we've taken for granted. And so in this case, I'm identifying what I've done and what I've been acknowledged for. So as a sophomore, I was a freshman retreat leader. I led a group of 20 students. Notice I identified the approximate number, in a variety of activities that included icebreakers, personal sharing, problem solving, and recreation. So this identifies my ability to work with a larger group of students, actually. I've been on honor roll for 4 semesters, maybe only 3, whatever. Place that on there. That is a recognition you've received. That's an honor. And a merit scholarship, I was awarded that by Central Catholic High School. So some of you have applied for scholarships where you wrote an essay at the end of your 8th grade year, end of freshman year, now end of sophomore year. Where did you receive that scholarship? And it may have been from your elementary school or your parish. So that's a good way to look at that. If you feel like there are any of these categories where you have nothing, you leave the category out. If you've not been in any extracurricular activities, I strongly advise get involved in something. This draws attention to your ability to work with groups. The years draw attention to your commitment level. Same thing with service. Service is huge for getting into college, and sometimes between extracurricular activities and service, that can be the decisive factor of when you're borderline on getting a recognition that you're seeking. So we've got some work experience, some leadership, and awards. Next thing I'm going to put in are some of my attributes and aptitudes. And I have given that a different title. That is up to you. I want to tie in what I've written up here, that I am a leader and organized. So I've got that identified pretty well here in my freshman retreat leader experience. But it's vocabulary I can add in a new category. And like I said, it could be attributes and aptitudes, or I have identified this as skills, qualities, and abilities. So especially employers, they're looking for I'm hardworking, punctual, I'm motivated, and what if I change that to organized, because I use that up above. These become great talking points if you get to the interview stage of a scholarship or for a job. When did you use your organization skills? Well, I used them in helping in the freshman retreat where and then you talk about what you had to do. You have to be organized to stock groceries, to maintain the bottle return. Small tasks in a way, you might think, but important if it's not done well. Caddying for golfers. Stacking the golf clubs back in the rack. There's some order to that. So we'll leave organized in there. You're motivated. You have some basic computer skills, maybe in Word and PowerPoint, not Excel, whatever you've got. Do you have social networking skills? Could you possibly help someone with posting to Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit? Could you remove a posting? What are you skilled to do? So many small businesses might want some technical help with in both computer related skills and social networking skills. Respected, respectful, able to apply constructive criticism. This isn't a topic everyone wants to add, but if you're a person who can take criticism and apply it and make a difference, that's important. We want to avoid getting our feelings hurt as much as possible. It should not be about the person, but about the task or whatever recommendations being made. So think of those characteristics that people would use to describe you, your neighbor, a relative. Those are all very helpful in determining, getting a snapshot. Remember, this is the only way someone sees you. Maybe I'll change Mary to Mark. Got a lot of football in there. Maybe too much. And we'll look again. So your objective is to apply your strong leadership and organization skills to a part-time entry-level position. These are some of the recognitions you received at Central Catholic, but you only need to identify that you attended this school. It speaks for itself. As compared to a public school, it has a reputation of being a fine quality college prep curriculum. If you have other attributes here you want to identify, go ahead and identify those as being, maybe a little ahead of schedule. Your GPA, any honors, and the language. Your extracurricular activities, your community service. Identify what you did in your community service and your activities. It can make a difference. Your work experience, any leadership honors and awards, don't have any, leave it out. And your skills and abilities or attributes. So, and the last thing we want to add for our resume are some references. If this doesn't all fit on one page, that's fine. We'll work on getting it all on one page, and the references can be placed on page 2. Oftentimes references are not sent in until after the person wants to talk with us. So if you're one of those prospective employees that they want to get to know a little better, that's when they would probably ask for your references. So don't feel that needs to be showing right there on page 1. You should list 3 adults that know about you. Teachers, I've got a teacher, counselor, coach. It can be in or out of school, should not be mom and dad. They love us no matter what. Preferably not a relative of any sort unless you've worked with them. And oftentimes that could be a parent, so if they're your employer as well, that you can identify them. But oftentimes it could be a manager within that employment that could give you a great reference. So we've got a completed resume. Run your spell check. Make sure everything's aligned the way you want it aligned. And this should be ready to go. And with that being said, this completes our resume. Review as needed, and good luck creating that first visual of who you are.